Welcome to this number 5 episode of the Wonder Team. We are going to debate now about some topics that our teacher of English gave us last week. We are going to start with
Some? Well, the first topic to talk about is immigration in America. What do you think about that?
well, what do we think about the immigration in America? I have a fact that it's very common now to many people around the world to go to America. That's right?
Yeah, the number of immigrants in America is growing more and more, and this is a problem that comes from many years.
Well, I think that people immigrate because their poor quality of life, because they don't have the resources or money or enough money to pay their things, so they need to immigrate to search a good quality of life.
Yes, but also I think that immigration affects like the other country. For example, in USA, if many Mexicans go there, you are like taking jobs of American people, and that's like affect the economy of USA.
Yeah, well, according to the Census Bureau, immigrants in America represent about 14% of the population in the United States, and the most reasons are social, economic, and political, and the lack of opportunities in their origin countries.
so what can they do? The poor man that needs to move to another country, what can be a solution to America to not get so many immigrants?
They immigrate to the United States, but in the United States, the President Donald Trump, he takes extraordinary measures like the border wall with Mexico and the deportation of millions of undocumented migrants. So they can move to another country that cannot be United States.
Well, now we're going to pass to the next topic.
Our next topic is refugees of the world. And what do you think about people going out of their countries because they don't have a good life and they are in danger?
Oh, I think that this is because of war or social problems that they have in their countries. So they have to search for a country that may make them feel safe and they can help them in the problems they have.
Yeah, that's right. There are many countries that are suffering a lot of problems in their economics right now at this time. But what are the countries that suffer more, that need to have more migration?
Well, nowadays, Cuba is one of those places because they don't really have a good rights there. So they are trying to look another country, but if they get out of Cuba, they can never come back because the government gets angry when people get out and they want to have better rights and a better kind of life. What do you think, Sam?
Well, another question to where they go.
To many countries, maybe the USA is like another country they try to do. Also Mexico, like Bolivian people and things like that want to have a better life, so they come here and ask for permission to live here with a better life.
I think it's a good idea to look for the opportunities and for a better life.
I have another question to solve. I, what do you think about the immigrants moving to a country like in France? As you see nowadays, you see many Arab people over there. Do you think that the migration can cause a change in the culture?
Yes, obviously I think like that. For example, also in France there are like many black people and they are like bringing their own traditions and change some things. Like in the future, maybe they will change a little bit of the culture and have a new.
Okay.
Well, the next topic that we're going to talk about is hunger around the world. So this is a very good topic to talk about. So what do you think about that?
The hunger around the world. we all think that all hunger is in Africa, but it is in other places too, right?
Yes. If we go by countries or continents, the first one is Africa, then it's Asia, then is South America, then Europe, and finally Oceania, because the quality of life there is like good one, but also in Asia the population is too big, so the food doesn't go to anyone, to everybody.
Okay.
I think in Mexico is one of the countries with more percent of hunger.
Yes, like 35% of the population doesn't have enough money to buy their food or even water.
What do you think are the things that make this happen?
I think that these things happen because of the bad administration of the money by the government, because they don't give the money that the people deserve or they need to buy food or even the water they need.
So, do you think that to solve the problem of the hunger, we have to change the type of government of many countries to proceed to give
Know
food to
the
people?
type of government, only the administration of money, because the president have a salary of 300 million pesos and one worker have 5 pesos a day.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
that's cool. Now we're going to present the last topic of this part of the video. We are going to talk about wars in the 21st century. There are many wars in the 21st century, and I am the expert of this topic. So please, let's start.
Well, the wars in the 21st century are most like in Europe, like Africa, Asia, Europe, because of the richness there is of petrol and things like that, right?
Well, that's a thing to discuss because in Europe that is true that there are many social wars, but that's another type of the war that we're talking about because it's perceived like from the rights of the people. And I have here the list of the 8 more deadly wars nowadays, well, in the 21st century. And as we see, is the Iraq, the Congo War, the Syrian War, the Darfur conflict that is placed over the Arab region, the Iraq War, as I said before, Afghanistan, the war of Boko Haram and Yemen. So we see these wars are all from the Arab and Africa territory in our global war. So I think that it is true that it might be about the resources like petrol, etc. But there is a conflict of that countries entering to the new world and to the new type of globalization nowadays.
I also think that sometimes like USA try to make a lot of things with those countries and try to control them. So maybe they introduce themselves too much in that places and it finishes in a war because they want to calm down the things. They abuse of their power.
Yeah, I agree with you. The USA has entered into many wars around the ages, and mostly they don't have to do a thing about it. They just want to provide a winner to their benefits, as always.
I also think the disagreements between United States and Europe, and also the economic and social problems between them.
Yeah, I think that they have many problems in Europe because the USA tried to adapt their economics to their own. But now the problem is between USA and China, so it might seem that America and Europe agreed to another type of contracts or commercialization because the war between Russia, China versus the United States, it's a changing constantly in our economics and political things. Yeah. We agreed to discuss in these topics because to us it's very important how the world is changing. As you know, we are young students and we want to create a better world and a better future, at least for our one, that is Mexico. We are transmitting this here. This is the episode of today. Thank you.
Poverty is a very big problem, especially in Mexico. When you consider that 51% of the population is poor, and of that 51%, 21% is in extreme poverty, you realize that it's a very big problem. And we should do something about it because this kind of epidemic is really ruining people's lives, and their quality of life is very low. They can't afford any food or medicines, and it's overall just horrible to be poor, especially be extremely poor because they can't afford anything. They are homeless, and a lot of people die. A lot of children and teenagers are very poor, and they die horrible deaths, and their life just horrible. So I think that this is a very important problem that should be addressed because it's our people and we should help them because they are in problem and they need us. So yeah.